So as you can see, you could use a drill press or a milling machine like I have here. Have some small little pocket where the head of the pellet can fit in, and then use a doming tool. This is part of a doming tool. It's just a thing that's used in arts and crafts to dent metal and stuff. It's just perfectly round at the end, but you can fix it to your drill press, and then you can just come down on it. And you can also have your extra barrel like I do for the Beam and P17 is what I'm making these for. These are Crosman wad cutters, 7.4 grain. But the skirts are too narrow, so what I'm doing is I'm flaring them. And I'm flaring them just probably about a 1/2 millimeter. Probably total, I would think, would be a 1/2 millimeter. Maybe a little more. And it's actually fail-safe, I'll tell you why. Because once you get the barrel, you can always go back for reference. I'll show you here. Okay, so here's the barrel. What you do is you put the pellet inside the barrel, and you want all your pellets flush. Okay. Now you notice that there's a little edge hanging out when you push it real gently, right? So what I did is I got this magnet right here. And magnet, of course, you guys know, tracks to metal. And what I do is I go over it, and it's not going to drop on the floor. And then I push a little bit. Okay. And it's perfectly flush. Now that pellet's flush. Now what I do is I take a stick like this, and then I push the pellet back out. So let me show you here. Okay. Now let me show you reloading it. Now when you reload it, watch what happens. It's a perfect fit. Now when you push it in the barrel, you just push it till your thumb stops. That's all you have to do. See, it won't fall out. But that's how you want to set it up. So that way, if the flare is too big, this will take care of it, this magnet right here. I don't want to get too close to my Android, but you put it over it like this. That'll take care of the flush part. So if the skirt is too big and you haven't set your drill press properly, let's say you're going too deep, a little bit too deep, no problem. You can always use this to push it down that extra distance of the over flare to get it flush again. So, but anyway, I thought you guys would like that. I want to show you one more time because I don't know if the angle's right. I got my Android on here, so I don't know if it's at the right angle, but I'm going to show you one more time. Okay, so you take a pellet and use a doming tool like this one. And there's some grease that's on this thing that I touched accidentally, so it's sticking to the pellet. Okay, so here's the pellet that's been spread out a little bit. Put it in the barrel. Okay. You see that? Take your magnet. I'll wiggle it a little bit. Okay, that's perfectly flush. Then take a stick, ram it back out, and you're done. That's simple. So the next time, when you're using these Crosman pellets, they're not going to be like the other ones are, where some of them go in too far, some of them get stuck too far out. So that way you can make sure that all the skirts are about the same size. And you don't have to get super technical with this, even though I have milling machine and lathe experience quite a few years. You don't always have to be perfect, especially if you got the actual barrel. Like I was showing you, you got the actual barrel. You can always push out that flare, or push that flare back in where it belongs. flush with the barrel. So you make a whole bunch of these, and you can use the barrel to check it once in a while if you want. Since the P17 is so cheap, they sell them for $30 on Pyramid Air. You can actually go buy one and just strip it apart for parts and experiments and stuff like that if you want. And then you can take one of the barrels like I did here and use it to size pellets. And if you have a DZ 747 or a 717, what's really cool is you can put these inside that too, perfectly sized. So you can turn a pellet that isn't the best into a somewhat match grade pellet, if you know what I mean. So this will work in all your guns, including your 1377. As a matter of fact, when I did this with this barrel and I shot my 1377, my group shrank quite a bit. And I might do a demo for you just to show you, because crosman pellets aren't perfectly sized, but you can size them if you want, doing stuff like this, little tricks. So now I did see a guy using a pellet sizer, and them are nice too if you get one of them. It has a little spring lever on it, and you just go like this and you push it through a little barrel, and then it pops out the other side. But even if you have that, you have to remember that when you're sizing a pellet, you have to pay attention to that skirt. So if you make a tool for the skirt so that when you push it in the barrel, it's got just the right flare on the end of the pellet. So that's what you want. But anyway, thank you very much for watching the video. Okay, so here's the setup here. I normally don't have my milling machine in my kitchen, but today I was just putting it up here so I could show you what I was doing. So anyway, there's that stuff there, and here I was telling you about the magnet. I didn't want to get this too close to electronics, but see how the magnet sticks on the end of the barrel? The magnet sticks right on the end of the barrel. Now all you have to do is just push a little bit, and you can hear that pellet snap in. And then when you're done, you can take a stick like this, like a bamboo stick like I got here, or a skewer, and you can push the pellet out the other side. And then there you got your match grade pellets out of bad pellets. So not that these are terrible, they're very inexpensive, but you just want to upgrade them, is what you're doing. Now if you have the time, you can go for it. If you don't want to, you can always buy more expensive pellets. There are pellets that are about the same price as these that'll work just great and have good flares to them. For instance, like the Air Arms Falcons and stuff like that, relatively inexpensive, that are already flared to the right size or over flared. So if you push them in, you can get a nice flush seat of the pellet. So, and the thing about pellets is once you seat a pellet inside of a bore, there's a video that I have online that I did with my Buckmark showing that for every centimeter or even every millimeter you go down, you're losing FPS. And when you lose FPS, the pellet drops lower than what it should. So when it's going to the target, one of them will go straight to the target. And then the next one that has a lower FPS will dive like this. And you won't be on target. So simply put, if the velocity is always the same for every pellet, that'll help you with your accuracy. Definitely. So, but anyway, thanks for watching.